Good morning and breaking news. The United Auto Workers Union has gone on strike for the first time in history. What those negotiations look like.
One bar on the south side is about to turn into a construction zone for a new crisis center. Find out how it'll become an important resource for Muncie and surrounding businesses.
And as Family Weekend begins here on campus, see what sights you can see. Get the coffee ready and open up those eyes. You're waking up with Cardinal weather.
From Ball State Unified Media, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, live from the Ball State Weather Center.
Good Friday morning to you. You're waking up with Cardinal Weather. I'm Anna Chalker.
And I'm Grace Bankowski.
For the first time in history, union workers are on strike against all three big automakers. The United Auto Workers Union failed to reach an agreement with Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis. Now workers are joining the picket lines. Gloria Pazmino reports live from Wayne, Michigan.
We are the union! We are the union!
Strikes underway as the clock ticked past the midnight deadline to close the deal.
I don't know how I'm going to survive, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to be out here striking.
We're going to be here as long as we can, until we get what we deserve. It's time.
Of the union's 145,000 members, nearly 13,000 are on strike Friday. The United Auto Workers Union announcing the start of targeted action at 3 select plants in Michigan, Missouri, and Ohio.
This strategy will keep the companies guessing. It will give our national negotiators maximum leverage and flexibility in bargaining. And if we need to go all out, we will.
The union is asking for ambitious raises in wages, benefits, and job protections for members. Ford CEO Jim Farley saying Thursday the company can't afford those demands.
40% will put us out of business. We would lose $15 billion. We would have to cut people, close plants. What's the good of that?
They could double our wages and they could not raise the price of vehicles and they would still make billions of dollars.
GM issuing this statement. We will continue to bargain in good faith with the union to reach an agreement as quickly as possible for the benefit of our team members, customers, suppliers, and communities across the U.S.
Demolition is underway at the site of a new IU Health Crisis Center in Muncie. Newslink Indiana's Libby Kleemeyer learned more about its projected impact with other resources on the south side.
What once stood Workman's Bar on 8th Street will soon be a construction zone for a crisis center aimed at helping people with substance abuse, mental health emergencies, and more.
So we started looking at other buildings in the area. The old Workman's Bar really made the most sense. It's very centrally located. It's near the Common Market and some of the other services in the area.
The partnership between the City of Muncie and IU Health was announced in February. Owen says the city chose the current location in November after talks about expanding the homeless center.
And that was the original plan. We talked about that for a long time. And then the staff really realized that there wasn't going to be enough space.
Just across the street from the site is the Common Market, a space that has become a community resource center. Volunteer Emily Hayes says the crisis center will be a great place to send those who may need extra help.
Because we have those community resources here at the Common Market, we find so many people that come here needing resources that could be offered to them from the crisis center that we don't have available.
Hayes believes the center will have a positive impact on all of Muncie, especially near the Common Market.
So many people that find themselves in a pinch or in a bad predicament or a crisis around here. And so it's really a good thing to have the crisis center right across the street.
In Muncie, Libby Kleemeyer, Newslink, Indiana.
Now to stay up to date on the construction of the crisis center, find future stories on ballstatedaily.com.
And as school starts back up here on campus, we all know that classes can get a little stressful, but the university is looking to change that through mindful meditation. Ball State's Health and Wellness program has put together a series of mindful meditation days for students and the Muncie community. An instructor guides participants through a class of meditation. Classes last about 20 minutes and are held every Thursday. They will also take place in various locations around campus. Yesterday's class took place in a woodsy area outside the Fine Arts building.
I think finding a way to use mindfulness to stay focused and engaged in your current task will allow you to get a lot more things accomplished and retain more information. So,
you can check out the Ball State calendar of events for more dates on mindful meditation. Yesterday was actually a perfect day to actually go outside to that class, and even though it's been a little chilly in the morning, I think it's still a great opportunity for people to go outside, relax, meditate, just kind of get in that right mindset.
You cannot beat this weather. This is perfect weather. In the mid 70s, lows in the high 50s there, just put on a little jacket and you're good. Just go outside and enjoy that weather. But let's take a look at some temperatures around the area right now. Waking up, like I was saying, we're going to be in the mid 50s. So right now, in Muncie, we are currently, look at that, 47 degrees. A little cooler there, but in Indianapolis, we are at 56 degrees, 51 degrees in Shelbyville. So if you are headed out this morning, just make sure, grab that light coat, because, you might get chilled there. Another factor we have this morning is some light to heavy fog just north of Marion right now. So just budget some extra time as you're headed out the door this morning, and maybe about 10 minutes or so. But we will be warming up quite a lot today. As you can see, look at this jump from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. all the way up to 65 by noon, though. We will be back in the 70s. And what we're tracking for the rest of the show, we have that fog we got to get through today. Those fall-like temperatures will persist into next week, but we do have a rain chance for the weekend.
Thanks so much, Jack. Today marks the start of Ball State's Family Weekend. We should be expecting wonderful weather for the tailgate as well as the game against the Indiana State Sycamores. That game starts at 2 p.m., but in the meantime, if you're looking for something to show off to your parents beforehand, we suggest you take a look at the Village. Stop by one of their delicious restaurants like Chava's or Brothers, then swing by the Cardinal fan store for some merch before that game. Go ahead, take a stroll around the Village and see what you might run into.
Now we know how busy the Village is going to be this weekend, but you might find it just as busy on October 7th because Ball State will be hosting some funny company that evening. Award-winning comedians John Mulaney and Pete Davidson will be making a joint appearance at Emmons Auditorium at 7 p.m. Tickets for the show are currently available on Ticketmaster, but tickets at Emmons will begin this morning at 10. And just ahead, Hurricane Lee has downgraded to a Category 1 storm.
And SpaceX might be sending their ship into the atmosphere soon. That's after your weather now. Welcome back. The Federal Aviation Administration says it could greenlight a launch for the SpaceX mega rocket by next month. Starship has been grounded since it exploded during a test launch in Boca Chica, Texas, earlier this spring. The FAA announced last week that it had completed its safety investigation into the incident and required SpaceX to take corrective actions. Elon Musk has posted pictures of the rocket on the launch pad on social media, adding that the company has taken those actions. The FAA says the actions now must pass an environmental review, but that could be completed by the end of October. The explosion damaged the launch pad and ignited a small brush fire on the state park land.
Here back on Earth, the climate crisis could cost the global fashion industry billions of dollars in the next few years. According to a study from Cornell University and investment manager Schroders, extreme heat and flooding is having a massive impact on 4 of the world's top garment-producing countries. Researchers say Bangladesh, Pakistan, Vietnam, and Cambodia are predicted to see a 22% drop in earnings from exports by the year 2030. That would cost those countries an estimated $65 billion in earnings and 1 million fewer jobs due to slower productivity. Heat also has taken a toll on these nations, with temperatures soaring above 100 degrees during spring and summer.
Hurricane Lee has weakened slightly and is now a Category 1 storm. That's according to the latest update from the National Hurricane Center. Forecasts showed the storm could impact parts of New England as early as today. A tropical storm warning has been issued for some of the Massachusetts coast, including Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, and Nantucket. Lee continues to grow in size, however, with tropical storm force winds now extending out more than 300 miles from its center. There is the potential for life-threatening storm surge flooding in areas of southeastern Massachusetts, and heavy rainfall from Lee may produce some flooding across eastern New England and into parts of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia from tonight to tomorrow night. And I know that that's affecting the East Coast a little bit. There's some more weather going on in the nation. Oliver, take it away.
Well, Grace, your last story that you just read, I really could not have said anything better about what we've got brewing up here in the Atlantic. Of course, Lee is what is going to be affecting us here in the States, and that's mainly going to be going up towards Maine. But we also do have Hurricane Margot headed over there, a little bit closer to Europe. Most likely that one's just going to fizzle out. Nothing too bad is going to happen from that. But Lee is also fizzling out, even though it will be making its way up the eastern seaboard. Most likely going to see more of its effects as you move up into Canada, but you wouldn't, like that story said, you wouldn't be surprised to see some storm surges and maybe some heavy gusts of wind, potentially some rain there as well. And that is why the National Weather Service has issued some warnings throughout the eastern seaboard. I mean, we got this pink thing. We've also got that red stuff up there. And those are watches and warnings. Most of it's a hurricane watch, especially that red stuff right up there by Maine. We also do have some more storms throughout the area, as well as a long cold front that's moving from Minneapolis all the way down through Nebraska. And that's actually going to be moving towards us as we get into this weekend. But looking at those current temperatures around the nation, 77 degrees for your high there in Cincinnati. A little bit warmer throughout other parts of the states. That's what is to be expected as you move throughout this transition from summer into fall. And tomorrow's highs are going to be reflecting about the same as we have been seeing for the past couple of days. Now, as we look further into the forecast, we are going to be seeing some temperatures get a little bit warmer than we do averagely see, especially here as you move into the Midwest and the Ohio Valley. We are going to be seeing some above average temperatures, but I'll let Jack take care of that in the local weather. But as we can see here on the national outlook, like I was saying before, that band of precipitation and clouds with that cold front and low pressure is going to be making its way here to Muncie. Most likely going to be affecting us as we move into family weekends. Might be getting a little bit cloudier as you move throughout the game. But then we shouldn't be expecting too many showers until you get into Saturday night, maybe even early Sunday morning. So not too much that could affect family weekend, especially that football game. But I mean, that hurricane, we thought it was going to be, hurricanes are obviously still a big deal. We thought it was going to be a little bit bigger of a deal. It's not as big a deal as it is now. But it's still something to keep an eye on, especially if you are in those northeastern
Definitely,
states.
and those storms are always changing all the time, so we'll stay on it and we'll stay up to date. So thank you so much, Oliver. As Hurricane Lee turns off the East Coast, the threat to New England and Atlantic Canada is potentially growing.
No matter what type of natural disaster or emergency Americans face, it is important to be prepared beforehand, and those who are older may have a hard time making those arrangements. So in today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has the simple steps to help seniors prepare for an emergency in honor of National Preparedness Month.
From wildfires to hurricanes, natural disasters and other emergencies are never easy.
I'll have to expect the unexpected, follow the old Boy Scout motto, be prepared.
A recent study finds that while most nursing homes met federal emergency preparedness requirements, about 77% reported challenges with preparing to meet the care needs of residents during an emergency, many citing concerns about proper staffing during disasters and transporting residents during evacuations. No matter where a senior lives, it's especially critical for them to have a preparedness plan, says Dr. Lauren Sutherland with the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center.
Well, older adults have a higher likelihood of having long-term, what we call chronic medical conditions that may need to take daily medications for.
Sutherland says to have at least a 2-week supply of needed medications on hand. For medicine that needs to be kept cool, plan for a cooler or ice packs.
You also want to have a good paper copy that's up to date of all your medications.
That can all go into an emergency preparedness kit, along with things like water, food, a battery-powered radio allowing for emergency alerts and warnings, extra batteries, a first aid kit, and a whistle to signal for help. Experts say to also know where to shelter if need be, which route to take in the event of an evacuation, and who would drive. Sutherland says if authorities ask you to leave, it's a good idea to do so. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The Food and Drug Administration says it will seek public opinion before making any kind of decision on a widely used decongestant, which were recently deemed ineffective. Earlier this week, an advisory committee to the FDA voted unanimously that phenylephrine does not do anything to ease symptoms. The drug is found in over-the-counter cold and allergy medicine. The committee advised the FDA that drugs that don't work should not be sold. Yesterday, the FDA released an update saying that it'll make the committee's input and evidence into account, but the agency will end up making the final decision. The FDA says that if it agrees with the panel's view, it'll issue a proposed order to remove the drug from the list, recognized as safe and effective. The public will then be allowed to comment before the agency issues its final order. The FDA would also like to note that there are certain medications available that do not contain phenylephrine. In just a moment, see the unlikely players that the coach decided to throw in the game.
That's after the break.
Two excited and adorable fans caused a rough moment at a high school soccer match in Minot, North Dakota. And it was all caught on camera. Check it out. The Minot High Magicians were taking on the Jamestown Blue Jays Tuesday night when two dogs ran out on the pitch. It happened about halfway through the first match. Officials had to pause the game for roughly a minute, which was the perfect amount of time for one pooch to get a belly rub from a player. The dogs quickly went on their way and the game resumed. It's unclear which team they're rooting for. Wow, what a cute sight to see.
They look like sweet little players. They look like they're really committed to the team. But back here in Muncie, Delta Eagles football has started out hot this season, staying undefeated after 4 games and already surpassing last year's total win. Newslink Indiana's Jace Miller learned more about the keys to this newfound success.
Down, set, hut. The 2023 season is well underway for Delta High School football, and they are off to one very hot and fast start, especially compared to last year's season.
It means a lot. I mean, we're 4-0. You can't get better than that. The student section's awesome. Our fans are awesome. And when you win, more people come out. So as we keep winning, more and more people keep coming out, and it'll be a lot of fun.
I feel pretty good. You know, we're 4-0, and last year we only had 3 wins, so to be 4-0 now, it's great. I played with all of them on JV, and then Zane, I've been playing with him since about 3rd grade, so yeah.
With good chemistry on the gridiron, success is easier to come by. The great teamwork starts from the man in command, head coach Chris Overholt.
Well, I graduated from Delta in 2001, and I've come back here, and I'm the head coach now for 8 years. So I love it. I love my community, love my home, and love my job. We've said since the summer, we've had a young but very gritty defense. They don't give anything up easy. They fight for every yard, and we just hope they continue that throughout the play here.
It has been smooth sailing so far, but some rocky waves are ahead. This Friday, the Eagles take on one of the top 4A teams in the state in the Mount Vernon Marauders.
The only thing I'd really say is I've watched a lot of film, and I know that they are 4A, so that probably be the best team we've played all year, so just got to go out there and hopefully get the win.
I tell you, we have a great senior group. They are winners, and they've been that way since they're young, so it doesn't matter what the situation, what the adversity is. They believe that they always have a shot to win at the end, and I think they've done a great job leading the team so far.
Kickoff for Friday's game is scheduled for 7 o'clock at Mount Vernon. In Muncie, Jace Miller, NewsLink, Indiana.
If you want to go catch those Eagles tonight, you will have perfect picture for that right now, and it's all being driven by these clear conditions right now. As we can see around our area, we don't have a cloud in the sky. That's due to a high pressure system that's kind of just hovering over our area, just kind of keeping the clouds away. If we look at our current temperatures, we can really see that 47, so a little cool here in Muncie, a little warmer in Indianapolis at 56 degrees. The reason it's been getting quite cool in the mornings is because, again, those clear skies. When it's clear at night, a lot of the heat that can be trapped by the clouds just escapes into the atmosphere, dropping our temperatures even more. So that's why we've been seeing those cool mornings this past week. But we will be warming up. As we can see, we're going to start in the 50s by 9 a.m., but warm straight up into the 70s as soon as we hit noon. We should hit a high of around 75 degrees. But as for tonight, it's going to get a little cool once again due to those clear conditions. 49 degrees as our low with those low east winds only at 5 miles an hour. As we can see, it is football weekend. First Ball State Cardinals home game this Saturday at 2 o'clock, and we're playing the Sycamores. Forecast for that is going to be picture perfect as well. 74 degrees, will be a little cloudy. As Oliver was saying earlier, those clouds will be building as that cold front starts to make its way through our area. And looking at the rest of your family weekend forecast, obviously it's going to warm up just a little more on Saturday. Should warm up to around 76 degrees with those cloudy conditions. But we can see Sunday, we actually have a chance for showers. Around a 40% chance, should be coming through early in the morning, should be out a little earlier as well. But the good thing with that is we need it. We're actually in a bit of a deficit for water right now, so we are in a slight drought. So if we can get just a little bit of water, hopefully we can boost that. I know we saw some rain earlier this week, but it was not enough for us to break that. So let's go ahead and try and time out that rain for you on Sunday. So we're going to start this Sunday at 4:30 in the morning. We can see the front is just off to our west. As I put this in motion, we can see it slowly crawls into our area, but we can see with some of these yellows and reds, some of the downpours can be heavy. So we may see a rumble of thunder with this as well. And this should be out of here into late afternoon. So just expect some cloudiness and a little bit of rain for your family weekend. Looking at our 7-day forecast there, we can see we're going to still be in the 70s, but I want to point your attention to the latter half of next week. We're going to be back in the 80s. Again, it's going to be warmer for the next forecast here, so summer is not quite done yet.
I can't with Indiana weather.
I know.
I was so ready for fall. I was like, oh my gosh, I can finally start wearing my fall outfits.
I feel like we might be in that fool's fall.
We are.
Yeah.
We do have like
100%
12
are. Oh, and you wait. Start of November, we're going to do the same thing, I guarantee.
Absolutely. And then there's probably going to be snow and stuff because, you know, that's just what happens in Indiana. It's never one season. It's always
and I
a
also
cool
just got out
season.
my flannel, so you know how that goes.
Definitely, Jack. Thank you so much. And oil prices have hit the 90s for the first time in 10 months. That's leading to an interesting situation for motorists. Gas prices are going up even though demand is easing and the summer driving season is over. Saudi Arabia and Russia surprised the market last week by extending supply cuts through the end of the year. Then catastrophic flooding hit Libya, leading to supply distributions there. The average price for a gallon of unleaded is now $3.86 a gallon. AAA says that's 6 cents higher than last week and 16 cents higher than last year. These prices are meaningful to the overall economy because high oil prices frequently push inflation up. And here's another sign of price increases. A new report shows the producer price index rose 1.6% in August. That's higher than economists had expected. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says month to month it ticked up 0.4%. That's largely in line with forecasts.
Tech giant Google has reached a $93 million settlement with the state of California in its tracking location case. The settlement resolves allegations that Google was collecting the data of consumers without their consent after a multi-year investigation. Yesterday, California Attorney General Rob Bonta said Google accepted taking future actions to prevent those practices, and the actions would apply beyond California to other states. Now, as part of this settlement, Google would have to be more transparent about its location tracking and disclose to users that their location information could be used for targeted ads. The purpose order is subject to court approval, according to the state's Attorney General. A Google spokesperson said, consistent with improvements they've made in recent years, they've settled that matter, which was based on outdated product policies that they changed years ago. In just a moment, a popular boy band is back with a teaser of their new song.
That's after your weather now.
From the heart of Ball State to the heart of your community, NewsLink Indiana brings you local and state news you care about. We pride ourselves with giving you the most reliable news coverage, stories that affect you, linking you to the community each night on air and online. NewsLink Indiana, bringing news to the heart of your community.
Welcome back, guys. Before we start out, we do have a happy birthday shout out. Happy birthday to Prince Harry. He turns 39 today, celebrating the last year of his 30s. The Duke of Sussex is currently in Germany for the Invictus Games. His wife, Meghan Markle, is expected to arrive there in time to celebrate with him. It's not clear whether his father, King Charles, has a special birthday message in mind or maybe a present, but royal watchers believe Meghan Markle does have something special and meaningful for him that she's bringing as a gift.
Bye, 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 or more like here we go again. The popular boy band from the late 90s to early 2000s, NSYNC, is back. The now middle-aged man band has released a 40-second tease of their brand new song. It's the first one they've recorded together in 21 years. The song Better Place doesn't signify a new album, at least not yet. It's from the soundtrack to the upcoming Trolls Band Together movie. This announcement comes 2 days after NSYNC made a surprise appearance together at the MTV Video Music Awards. You're able to hear the teaser ad Take You to a Better Place.com.
It's Barbie's world. Sales of Barbie dolls have spiked since the summer release of the Barbie movie. In June, Mattel released a new collection of Barbie toys, which included dolls pegged to characters in the movie. The company also released a toy replica of Barbie's three-story dream house. According to a data market research firm, Circana, Barbie toy sales increased 25% for the combined months of July to August, compared to the same two-month period a year ago. Mattel does plan to release more products before this holiday season.
Adam Sandler has announced show dates for his second major comedy tour of the year. And the good news, he's coming here, well, to Indianapolis. Sandler will be here November 15th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The 25-city I Missed You tour across North America kicks off in Vancouver on October 12th and wraps up in Denver December 12th. The tour comes after Sandler's Netflix film, You Are So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah, and just months after he finished his first tour, Adam Sandler Live. Happy Gilmore's pretty happy about this great weather.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
you can't get better golf weather,
No.
you can't get better movie weather. Adam Sandler also, one of my favorite human beings, just right behind Paul McCartney. But, I won't say that. Anyways, let's get looking at this last weather real quick. As we can see, folks, we have beautiful weather stretching into next week. 70s, 70s, 70s. Highs in the 70s, lows in the 50s. Honestly, it does not get better than that. It's San Diego weather. It is picture perfect. We do have a little bit of chance for rain on Sunday. Hopefully we can get a little bit, get us out of this drought. But look at that. At the end of the week, 80s return. So summer's not done yet.
Can you say that one more time? 70s,
Summer's not done yet.
Oh.
That too. 70s,
70s. Summer's not
yeah.
over yet. I'm loving this.
Yes, definitely. Jack, thank you so much.
That's all for Cardinal Weather this Friday morning. Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you next Friday. Have a great rest of your day and a fantastic weekend.